Good morning. Yesterday I wrote something on the forum about the law of attraction and how I use it, and I've had a few interesting comments from you online and in emails too. So I would like to expand on this topic. Law of attraction, this mysterious law, does it really exist? You might not believe that it is something real. Okay, that's fine. Just listen to this as a fairy tale. Why do I want to concentrate on this? Because this is just another way to get what you want. There are many ways to get what you want. There are many ways to attract and bring in things into your life. If you want a nice girlfriend, you can go on the dating site. You can go outside where the girls hang out. You can talk to many women. You can ask your mother to introduce somebody to you. Or you can use the law of attraction. There are so many different paths to the same result. So I prefer to use law of attraction in situations where I want surprises, where I do not want a particular result, but something unexpected, yet that fits the criteria of my search. With law of attraction, you cannot be person specific. You can't say, I want Lena to come here and kiss my feet. Send it to me. It doesn't work like that. And law of attraction is not about positive thinking or negative thinking. It has nothing to do with that. Now, what is this law of attraction? And this is, again, only Lena theory, only Lena logic. You can argue with it, or you can take it for what it is. You can get something useful out of it, even if it is 5% of what I say. Law of attraction is a feeling. You experiencing a certain feeling. Okay? Try to imagine yourself lying on a beautiful green lawn full of flowers and nice smells and the cool wind, and you're lying on the lawn like this watching the clouds, the blue sky, the white clouds. You can see a rabbit, a bear. It's just the right temperature. It's not too hot, not too cool, and the breeze is there in your face and you feel so free, relaxed and happy. Now, we cannot attract the lawn, we cannot attract the clouds, but we can attract the feeling of free, happy and relaxed. Do you see what I mean? You start in reverse. You start from the feeling that you get out of a certain situation. Now, okay, let's get more real. Imagine a woman. She is wearing black leather. She's dressed in boots and she has a whip in her hand. She's standing above you. You're there on the floor. You feel so worthless. You feel totally powerless and under her control. Imagined? Good. Now, start back with the feeling. Totally powerless, out of control, with her being above you. Now, this is what you have to experience to attract that particular feeling into your life. You have to go through the feeling first, and then creates the bigger, greater one, creates the situation that gives you that feeling. It might not be a woman in boots and leather standing above you at all. It is going to be something unexpected, but the feeling is going to be that exact feeling that you have asked for. And law of attraction mostly works on the feeling and on the emotion in reverse. Most people get it wrong. They think that, okay, I just need to imagine myself in a Porsche. I want a Porsche. I'm sitting there in a Porsche. I'm holding the steering wheel. It's black. It's leather and it's about this big, and I see the logo right in front of me. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You are doing the wrong thing. This is not your job to take care of the logistics and of how you get that feeling. Now, imagine driving a Porsche. Same start. What feeling do you get from driving it? Being better than your neighbors, perhaps? I feel more powerful. I feel the strength inside me. I can go fast. I feel great because because this is a great machine and I'm in control of a big machine. Doesn't matter which logo it has. Doesn't matter which brand it is and what it looks like, if it's black or blue or purple. It is the feeling that counts, and you want it because of the feeling. You don't want it because it's black and because it says Porsche on it. You want it because of the feeling, because you want to show off to your neighbors. You want to show off to the girls. You want to pick the chicks in a nice car. Whatever your feeling is, you don't want the object because of the object. You want the object or the person because of the feeling it gives you. A supermodel standing next to you saying, "Man, I love you like nobody else." Is this the supermodel that you want, or the feeling of pride, the feeling of being with somebody who everybody else wants to be with? Okay, I'm giving moron examples here, but I want to simplify things so that the examples are really clear. I know not everybody wants to be with a supermodel, but most men do. And most men want to drive a Porsche, and women too. Now, law of attraction will bring you the feeling. But the situation where you get that feeling might be totally different. You just have to recognize it. You want love in your life. You want the feeling of chemistry. You want the feeling of, oh, I want you. That sort of feeling. When you smell the person, when you're next to, when you touch their skin, it feels fantastic. Now, driving a Porsche feels fantastic too. Now, what sort of fantastic is it? What is this feeling? You feel this rising of something in your stomach, a good sort of something, not vomit. Your heart starts to beat faster. You feel so powerful. You can do anything for this other person because they smell right. So we're talking about chemistry. Now, if you want the feeling of the right chemistry with somebody, don't imagine a brunette or a blonde or a woman in stockings or boots. Don't imagine anybody. Imagine the feeling. Feel the feeling. Don't just imagine it, but feel that you are going through this feeling right now. Close your eyes if this helps. You feel the scent of that person next to you. Doesn't matter who that is. You feel it and you know that you're attracted to them so much that everything in your body starts to react to their scent, to their presence. Now go through that feeling for a few minutes and it will come. It will come somehow from something in your life. And don't be disappointed where it comes from. It can come from a very unexpected source. But don't say no to things. Say, okay, well, in my fantasy I imagined a brunette, and this girl sitting next to me in a cafe smiling at me for some reason is not a brunette. So obviously this is not the law of attraction working, and she's not tall and slim like she was in my fantasy. No. But the feeling might be still there. The feeling that you get from that person. It might even be a man. Hopefully not, but you get the point, right? No? Still? Okay. Well, let's skip that part and get back to your questions yesterday. You said, if everybody was an optimist, bad things would not happen in the world. No, this is not about optimism. Why do tsunamis happen? Why do planes get hijacked? Why do trains go off the rails and people die? Why do road accidents happen? Because we are human beings. We cling to negativity. We want to see negativity. And we crave negativity. Have you ever found yourself in a situation when you're driving on a highway and suddenly there is a traffic jam and you think it's an accident? You just saw an ambulance rush by. And when you get to the point, you see that there was no accident. The feeling of disappointment is there, right? You don't say, oh, thank God there is no accident. You can say that, yes, but inside you there is a feeling of slight disappointment. And also, when there is an accident on the side of the road and cars can drive at a normal speed, they will slow down to see what is happening, if there is anybody injured or anybody dead. And people want to see the worst. Why do we not go to the movies to watch movies like, this is a happy family, everybody rich and everybody's smiling and happy, and they just love each other so much, end of the movie. No, we wouldn't want to see that. We want to see a movie with a catastrophe. We want to see a movie with things exploding and people dying, and suddenly somehow somebody survives out of this mess. But there are a lot of people dead, of course, and a lot of people sick, and this person breaks the heart of the other person, but. We want problems. We want to see problems. We want to see trouble, and we want to see pain. And we go to watch movies like that. And the more real they seem, the more we go to see them. The more we like them and enjoy them. What's wrong with us? Why can we not watch cartoons for very small kids, Teletubbies? There is no trouble between Teletubbies. They just walk around happy and always smiling and always sing a song for us. But, okay, when the kids go a bit bigger, they want to watch Tom and Jerry, how the mouse slaps the cat's face and the dog bites the tail off, so the cat jumps like, ooh! And do your kids, or did you watch Tom and Jerry? I love Tom and Jerry. Why? Because the cat always gets it. The cat is stupid, gets hurt, gets smashed, and the dog catches the cat, and the mouse is the winner. Yay! There's fighting, there's trouble. This is what we want to see. Now, how many negative emotions do we splash out of our minds every day? Somebody overtook you in a not very polite way on the highway this morning. You might think, damn, you should really get what you deserve, an accident for what you do. One day you're going to get an accident if you drive like that. And all these negative emotions, they don't necessarily affect that person that you sent the emotion towards, but they form clusters. And clusters result in natural disasters. Clusters result in, not natural disasters, and big disasters. In huge accidents like a bus falling off the cliff. That happens. And that happens because of these clusters of negative emotions traveling in the air somewhere. Okay, I'm getting too abstract, Lena theory that I just came up with today. But I truly believe that things happen for a reason. Nobody's neutral. We all produce emotions, positive, negative. We all see things. We all love to imagine bad things happen to us. How many teenagers would imagine themselves dead after they had a fight with their parents? This is a very common story. Well, if I was lying in a coffin, I wonder what my mother would feel like. And I've spoken to a lot of people, and this is a very common one. And if you remember yourself when you were a teenager, you probably had that one too. What if I just killed myself? I wonder what my parents would think then. Would they cry? Would that girl in my class cry, the pretty one, who I like, and she doesn't like me? What would happen? What if something bad happened to me? What if I drive really fast? Am I going to be in the newspaper next day? Dead? Things that we imagine are usually negative. And by imagining these negative things, we create them. We create them, but not necessarily attract them to ourselves. We make these little clusters, and they flow out in the air and cling to some person. Because we are all connected, we are all one. It might have come from out here, powerful thought of death, and stuck to another person somewhere on the other side of the world. And there you go, a suicide or a car crash, on the other side of the world. Why? Because the other person was open to it. The other person was not protected enough, and the other person somehow let it happen to themselves. Karma. We don't want to take the blame. We don't want to say that, oh, this is our own fault. We all say, what have I done to deserve this? What has she done to deserve this? But think about it. We are all one. Whatever she did, I deserve. Whatever he did, the person on the other side of the world has deserved somehow. And all goes around. And it's very difficult to untangle and see whose thought is linked to whose karma. Should I publish this or not? And this is complicated blah blah that you might not appreciate. At least one person will appreciate it for sure. And that would be my grandma, who doesn't understand what I'm saying. But she says, well, my little granddaughter is smiling, so she must be happy. Okay, good to see her in good mood. Okay. Law of attraction. What about natural disasters? Tsunamis. Who attracts tsunamis? Earthquakes. We don't. In nature, there is no such thing as good or bad. You see a thunderstorm with rain versus sunshine. Nature doesn't say, oh well, the thunderstorm is a terrible day, terrible weather, and the sunshine is a good weather. No, because we need wind and we need discharge of energy. We need water for the trees and for everything else to wash the rivers and clean the sea. This is nature. Nature doesn't say this is a bad day for you, this is a good day for you. All weather is good in nature. Tsunamis are always good. Why? Because they wipe out certain things. I'm sure it does work somehow in that way, but it's not considered bad. And whatever human beings invent, that is nothing to do with nature. An airplane crash. Humans are not supposed to be in the air 10,000 meters above the ground level. We are human beings. We are supposed to stay on the ground. We are not birds. So when you get up in the air and expect to be safe, you're wrong. You are risking. You are relying on our inventions that are not perfect. Nature is perfect. Nature gives balance. Nature gives warnings, and things happen gradually. If there is a thunderstorm coming, you see the wind rising, you see the clouds, you have time to get away from it. If there is an airplane that just breaks down and crashes down into the sea, you can't predict it because it isn't nature, it is our human invention. And there is no reason to blame God or nature on what has happened, because things that we invent, however well they work, they are not perfect, and shit happens, and it's a matter of chance of when it will happen too. Same with cars. People are not meant to be traveling at the speed of 100 kilometers per hour. People, if they run fast, they can go up to, 20 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers per hour, right? But they're not meant to go over that speed. So of course, if something happens, their bodies get damaged badly, because their bodies are not designed to go in the air or to travel at a fast speed like that. And think about all the other disasters. Humanly created disasters, motorbikes. You are in the hands of a machine. How can you trust a machine? A machine that has not taken centuries to develop. A machine that's been invented a few tens of years ago and is not perfect. Yet you trust it. You trust it like it is your own body, but it's not. And it doesn't react like your own body. Cars are not perfect, motorbikes are not perfect, airplanes, trains are not perfect. So when you place yourself in the hands of a machine and trust the machine, chances are that the machine will let you down, because it isn't natural and it isn't supposed to be there, and we are not designed to live with the machines. We are designed to live with nature and on our own. Nuclear power stations, same as motorbikes, same as airplanes. We create something and then complain what went wrong, what happened. A tsunami, an earthquake, that's all natural. If we don't build houses higher than 1 floor, we would not die from a hurricane. If the houses, okay, wrong with that one, we would die from a hurricane. But I don't know what to say about hurricanes. Anyway, somehow I don't think that natural disasters, perhaps they're there to wipe out some of the population, and we cannot all live forever. It is so sad to see death in the family, right? When your grandma dies or your relatives die, and you think, why does it have to be them? I don't want them to die, I want them to live forever. What if everybody lived forever? There is this natural circulation, population. Some people die, and nature takes care of the weak ones. With the cats, okay, it's in the dog's instinct to chase the cat. I can't stop it. Whatever I do, I can't stop it. And the weakest ones die. And this is what happened to the kitten. The smallest one was the first one to be killed by the dog, because it was the slowest. And it couldn't run away. It was the weakest out of all. And it died. So that it doesn't pass on its weak genes to the next generation. The nature took care of it. But for us, it's sad. What a bad dog! How can I not look after them properly? I could have locked them in the kitchen and never let them out, and so on. And with people who are sick, some people, and I've been in this situation myself, with somebody having organ transplants. Taking organs from other people. If you damage your body so badly that you have to receive organ transplants, it's working against nature. You have led yourself into a situation when you need an organ transplant. Why? With your lifestyle, with your greed, with overworking and abusing your body, drinking and smoking and drinking every day. Of course, your organs will not live forever. But because you have money, you buy an organ from a healthy person who has been looking after themselves. Yet they need the money, so they sell the organ. And is this moral? Could be a good solution for both people, but something is wrong with it. Something just doesn't feel right, because people are messing with nature, and money shouldn't have that power. Would you sell your kidney for a lot of money? You would never have to work. Not quite. It doesn't cost that much, sadly. Anyway, how did we get to kidneys? I want to talk more about law of attraction. I find it fascinating, and what I find more fascinating is that you do not really know how to use it. You might know it in theory, but I rarely see people use it in practice. Why? It is our human ability, just like the ability to go out and get the milk from the store. That's normal. Everybody else does that. And what about the law of attraction? What about creating these positive situations and sending them out to the greater one? And the greater one is the network of us, people and nature, the higher energy that we are all part of. It's in all of us. It isn't separate from us, it's in all of us. And we have the right to ask for things. Not by saying, hey, can I have a Porsche? Because the Greater One doesn't understand such words as Porsche. But still, can I have the feeling of power, physical power, and strong emotion of satisfaction and happiness that comes from controlling some human-made object? Then it is more along the lines of possible. But you have to stay as natural as possible. And by as natural as possible, imagine that you are in a world where nothing has been created yet. There are no subways, there are no cars, there are no cell phones. And then you need to ask for what you need. So when it comes to human emotions such as love, care, control, submission, these all are very easy to get and very easy to experience. When you send the message out to the Greater One, you get exactly what you want back. Why don't you try it? Why don't you think that this is worth trying to know how to do it? Well, okay, let's do an exercise together. You sitting there in front of me, right? Imagine the feeling of being here on the floor, right here, in front of me. I'll make it more fun. With one foot dangling in front of your face, and me looking down on you, like a puppy. Like a puppy, and I can do anything I want to you. You're naked. You're vulnerable. You're in my power. What sort of feeling is this? It can feel very wrong. You want to be sitting on the bed and chatting to me like a friend, looking into my eyes and telling me what you think. Now that might feel right. Being below, having me look down on you from above. Might even spit on you. Yeah, and this might feel wrong. Again, this is not for everybody. And I'm not saying that I want to do this to everybody. Oh no, no. Now, what is that feeling that you get? What is happening inside here? Is there a feeling of satisfaction? Is there something warm filling you up? Is there something that's hurting inside? Is there something that you haven't felt for a long time, perhaps? Something that you wanted, something that you waited for? Or a feeling of resentment, like, no, this is the last thing I want. And if this is the last thing, then you shouldn't imagine it, because by imagining it, you might as well attract it to yourself. And if you don't want it, then you shouldn't be able to imagine it. Okay, now, with that feeling, contemplate on the feeling. Do not imagine anything visually. Just bits and pieces. Do not create a movie out of it. No, she's not blonde. She's not brunette. She's not wearing that black skirt. She's not wearing the boots. She doesn't have anything in her hands. She might not even have hands. I don't see her. I see the feeling. I feel it now. I feel that feeling inside me. Why do I feel it? It isn't even happening, but I feel it inside me. Now, this is sending a call out to the Greater One, a call of attraction, attracting the feeling to yourself. And sit back and wait, and it will come. And it takes time, because Santa Claus has to take care of all the other kids and give them their gifts, but it takes time, and finally it arrives to you. If you don't believe me, wait and see, and you will feel that exact feeling at some point of your life soon, coming from an unexpected source. Okay, it's more than enough.